So we're gonna jump into it, man. This one is a shout out to the ladies, man. I'll kick it off before I get into the before I get directly into the question. I do want to make a statement on this. Um, I hate when I hear people say boxing's dead, man. It's the
Mm-hmm.
stupidest thing in the world, man. We people making
Yeah.
millions. You
Uh-huh.
you you, you name something else where somebody it's dead and people making millions. That being said, they've done a poor job of bringing the ladies along. Right, they should have been better advocates for the ladies. We got a crop of women fighter that are female fighters that are really, really, really taking root and really impressing. So, which brings me into the first question. Recently, there was a change atop of the pound for pound rankings. Right,
Mm-hmm.
Claressa Shield has lost her number one spot to Katie
The
Taylor
GWOAT. The GWOAT.
and
Mm-hmm.
lost her spot. What you got on that, JD?
I think that's the wildest stuff ever, man. It is absolutely wild for them to take the quote from
The
number
GWOAT,
one.
bro.
And the reason why, I'm going to be honest, man, and I think this has a lot to do with our girl Claressa Shields' frustration that she's having with just, her stance and her platform here in America. Of course, as we know, they've now catapulted Katie Taylor to that spot. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that overseas, across the pond, they are really doing a lot to really promote these women. They're doing a lot to really give them a viable platform for them to really get their names out there amongst the masses. I think at this point, probably over in the UK and a lot of areas, Katie Taylor is definitely, a household name. But I still do not think, after what we've witnessed Claressa Shields accomplish, there's no way in the world that Katie Taylor, I feel, should still be over her as top pound for pound. Now, I do understand that there is a discrepancy. When you look at the records, you're looking at Claressa Shields having only 10 fights compared to Katie Taylor. I think she's somewhere around like 16.
17.
Yeah, 17 fights. So she's at 17 fights. So I get that there is a 7 year, or not 7 year, but 7 fight advantage.
Right.
There's also an age discrepancy. Katie Taylor's 34, Claressa's only 25. So I think a lot of it is just kind of them kind of throwing Katie Taylor a bone.
I
A
will say
woman
this.
who's been in the game a minute, and I think she has accomplished a good amount. But I still feel like what Claressa has accomplished is still above what Katie has. She should be number two.
And I will say this though, to add to that, you're only as good as your last performance. And Katie Taylor put on the show. You can't tell you the last time Claressa Shields put on the show. Not that she
Hold on.
hasn't. Not that she hasn't.
first-
She
first-
just.
first of all,
She,
you talk- first of all, you
hold on.
talk-
I'm just saying she just hasn't been active. And Jamel Herring said this: when you're not active, man, people forget about you. It's what you done for me lately, kind of thing. Not to say she's not the baddest woman out there, but I think they're trying to brush her aside just because she hasn't had the right team around her to get her fights. Go ahead, Q. Don't take my head off. Go ahead.
No, moderate. I just want you to moderate until it's time. Man.
Okay.
He about to spark debate, huh? He about to spark
My
debate,
bad,
huh?
my bad,
Q?
my bad, my bad, my
Hey,
bad,
you
my
Coming
bad.
out of, anyway, you know I'm about that Claressa game, bro. You know I'm about
Okay,
that
go ahead,
Claressa
go ahead.
game, bro. So what we gonna do? Now, this is my thing, bro. I totally disagree with the Katie Taylor over Claressa Shields on any platform. Period. You know what I'm saying? They lose credibility in my perspective. Okay, she's done things that no other human has done.
Mm-hmm.
When you done things no other human has done, bro. You know what I'm saying? So without even talking about men and women, you know what I'm saying? 10 fights, man. She got the world title in 10 fights. She got what three weight divisions in them
Mm-hmm.
10 fights. And now, man, in my opinion, she hasn't been in her life or death because everybody was so impressed with the Pursoon. I love Pursoon in that fight with Katie Taylor. Both fights were crazy. Both fights could have really went either way, in my opinion. Both fights, if you want to go with the person that threw the most, like the aggressive, like Pursoon is, she's somebody that's gonna make you kill her in the ring. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? She
Mm-hmm.
looked like
Yeah.
Thriller. She looked like Thriller after the fight. Thriller video. I ain't gonna. I'm just
Cause
saying.
this is
And
Thriller.
she won't die. She like
Uh-huh.
the Terminator. You know what I'm saying? So all respect due to Katie Taylor for handling that business, man. But either way it go, if they would have, if the bag would have been in the other corner, that fight would have went the other way, and nobody would have had nothing to say about it. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say a Claressa Shields fight because she fight everybody that's supposed to be somebody. You know what I'm saying? She handled her business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They put people out in front of her. She handled her business. Now I can throw a bone to the inactivity part of it because um, Katie Taylor's been a lot more. She's been a lot busier, and it's probably a bigger pool that she has to fight from. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that you take that away from somebody. And then since they use the Olympic, I mean, since they use all this in other platforms as far as amateurs and Olympic pedigree, she has 2 Olympic gold medals. Man, name somebody that had 2 Olympic gold medals in America, man or woman. I think it's
Hmm.
1906. Somebody
Right.
somebody might have had back-to-back Olympic gold medals. I forgot the guy's name,
And,
but nobody, man.
and the
Hmm.
disappointing
Yeah.
part about it is I think it's the PFL or something like that. She's now signed up to take on an MMA career, and
Right.
it's like
She
it.
yes, out of frustration of they're not doing a good job with managing her career, with getting her fights and getting her putting her on the platform to making her a
Hmm.
face. They're not doing it. You know what I'm
Because
saying? And
she had a buzz, man, and then it's just like the pandemic happened, and it seemed like there was no real effort to really put her out in the
no,
public, and I think that's how she got overtaken at the number one spot. So, and this just goes back to boxing, and their ineptitude, and part of this is tradition, all right. So we talked about this in the other part. Boxing holds on to tradition, and traditionally women weren't taken serious; they were a sideshow.
Hmm.
And shout out to Christy Martin, one of the pioneers. Um,
most
it,
definitely.
it's just a difficult proposition when you have somebody so dominant but not enough test, and you have to create ways to really maximize her earning power. And I'm really disappointed to see her go over to MMA just because she's a fighter. You don't see Floyd or any top fighters really.
Hmm.
I'm not saying taking on that risk, but having to do that for money, because I don't think she's afraid of the fight. But the
She's
thing
trying to get
about
a
it
bag.
is,
Yeah,
you should stick to your craft. She should be able to make money in her craft just like any other fighter, right?
I'm
Without
gonna
having to do this
Yeah,
cross.
and I think it really again it goes back to I think here in America, um, some of our we've got to hold some of these promoters accountable. We've got to hold them accountable for investing in women's boxing. What we witnessed with Eddie Hearn, DAZN, BT Sport, a lot of these companies over across the pond is that they're willing to pony up dough to see a woman's main event. Matter of fact, I think even our Chicago girl Jessica McCaskill, I think she was on a DAZN championship bout. Her and Cecilia Breakers, I think that was a main event. So
I
what
think
we're
it was.
watching,
Yeah,
what we're watching companies be willing to put, these women on that platform. And of course, Claressa Shields is looking at it like, wait a minute, I was the fastest, youngest, whatever, however you want to lay it out, to
right.
win titles in 3 weight classes. And y'all mean to tell me that I can't consistently get main events? Y'all don't want to promote me that way? So it's a shame. It's a shame. And I think it's time to really hold some of these promoters accountable, because there are plenty of fans that want to see
Claressa
women's
Shields.
boxing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and in particular, Claressa Shields. So,
Right.
it's a shame.
But I wish
But
her the best.
man,
If
Hey,
I think
hey,
she's a fighter, and I think if she's brought along well, she could be a success over there. But I really rather
I'm,
see her
as,
in the ring.
as long as she's brought along right,
Yeah,
now,
because I
exactly.
hate to see
now,
her going through a different discipline.
Yeah.
what I will say is, man, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see because I love her. I love her confidence, and I've seen her. I don't know if y'all seen her training, man. She looked pretty fluent, and she looked. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's gonna go there and win a world title. And I'm not saying she's gonna go there and just be number one. But I think if they put her in against, bring her along the right way and let
Mhm.
her develop. What I didn't like, now she said she wanted to do 3 fights MMA, 3 fight boxing next year. I'm like, yo, you that's how you lose. That's how you lose what you the best at. Once you go to, don't split it 50-50 like that. I mean, I feel like she should. It's scary already because she said she could box in her sleep, and she can. She amazing. She been boxing all her life. You know what I'm saying? She done it at the highest level at every level, and I mean, you can't knock her resume. Can't
Mhm.
nobody knock her resume. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, so I'm excited to see what she could do over there and to kick down doors like she's been doing. You know what I'm saying? Not let nobody box her in just because of whatever they feel. And I feel like she do this the right way. I mean, she's about to be a household name. I feel like
Oh,
she'll go there and I
well,
think she's gonna do fairly good, and it's gonna bring her in boxing also because you're gonna have people want to see. come from the other side to see her fight. Wherever she at,